Welcome back to Local 3 News, live from the UP Championship Rodeo in Iron River. Joining me now is Local 3's John Truitt.
Thank you, Rebecca. The next story doesn't get more Michigan than this. I did have to cross the Mackinac Bridge to bring it to you, this one, but the man I met gave me such a warm welcome, it was worth every mile. If you win a rodeo these days, the traditional hardware you walk away with is a big belt buckle. This year's champions get something even more special. Once you see how they're made, you'll understand why. Forged by fire. Shaped by a skilled hand using brute force. It's an art, a science, a study in thermodynamics. It's an understanding of raw metal at a molecular level. And for Daniel Suji, it's a passion, a calling, and the pursuit of perfection.
I feel that way with each knife I make. It has a soul, it has a heart, it has a function, and it's not just pretty, but it's practical. You can use it.
For Daniel, knife making is creating a functional piece of art, using ancient methods combined with today's modern knowledge of metallurgy. His blades are highly sought after for the precision in which they are made. He uses a process known as Damascus, characterized by welding different types of steel together and working them into folded layers, fired in a kiln, then hammered into shape, and finally ground to a razor's edge. What makes his knives so unique and special to Michigan is because one of the types of steel he uses comes from the roadway of the Mackinac Bridge.
One of my customers went and bought some of the Mackinac Bridge at auction, and he said, I want to make a knife with this, and I wanted to help him out with that. And it turns out that Mackinac Bridge steel has very low carbon. You can't make a knife out of Mackinac Bridge steel unless you combine it with high carbon steel. So I talked with him for a little bit, and I was like, let's come up with a way to make knives with this steel that you can actually use. So I started making Mackinac Bridge Damascus.
This unique component of Daniel's knives caught the eye of the Upper Peninsula Pro Rodeo. Traditionally, rodeo champions receive a big belt buckle as their trophy. However, this year's winners will receive a custom-made Daniel Suji Mackinac Bridge knife.
The Upper Peninsula Rodeo, Championship Rodeo, contacted me out of the blue. Bernadette just messaged me on Facebook and said, hey, I saw your knives and I think it would be a really cool prize for our cowboys.
Daniel typically makes around 300 custom knives a year, and as you can see, it's hard work.
This job is very physically demanding. There's a lot that goes into making a knife, primarily on your joints and your wrists and your elbows and your shoulders because of the forging action that you have to do. You're holding a piece of steel and you're hitting it with a hammer. You can only do that so many times before it starts hurting.
Suji's goal is to put knives in the hands of anyone who wants one. And although they are some of the highest quality blades in the industry, Daniel wants to make knives for everyone, not just the super rich.
It's an honor, it's a privilege to be able to make knives for people who work hard for their money. And I get to provide them with something that I also worked hard for.
Although rodeo belt buckles are nice, Daniel hopes his prizes can do more than just hold up your pants.
For the rodeo, I designed a knife that's what I call a utility knife. And the purpose of it is to have a nice strong spine, a sharp edge, and to have the function in the hand for a user.
For more information on Daniel Suji knives and a link to his page, please check out our website at upmatters.com. In Indian River, Michigan, John Truitt, Local 3 News.
Thank you for sharing that story with us, John. And up next, we have your rodeo forecast, plus a look at weather across the rest of the region.